Okay, so page 31. Diane, if you could turn off the front lights for us. And I'm going to ask you pretty much every day, so if you don't like that spot, maybe switch with someone. Page 31 is where we're going to go. That's where I'm going to actually do some work on. Before that, though, I want to give you one last shortcut. I call it a shortcut to make things faster. When we did the renovation, the initial renovation questions, we always dealt with a nice rectangular room, right? But that's not always going to be the case. So if you go to page 28, just go to 28. There's a blank page there. Quick method to find surface area of walls. Just the walls, guys. Okay? So what am I talking about? Let's say you have a room that looks like this. Right? Something like that. And we know that this is, let's say this is 15 feet. This is 30 feet. You've got 7 and 18. Not drawn to scale, obviously. And the wall height is, let's say, 10 feet. So you're given a problem like that, you're given a blueprint of a room, and it's not a perfect. This is on page 28 in case you're wondering where I'm. Anywhere really is fine. But when you're given something like this, would that be easy to just use our normal surface area formula for a box? It wouldn't be so much. It can be done, but it would be a little trickier. Okay, so use, right, this is the formula to find the surface area of the walls. I will go perimeter. It's been a while since you used that word, right? Perimeter times the height of the walls. And emphasis on walls only, right? If this question said, hey, you're going to paint the walls and the ceiling, then obviously you would have to add the ceiling to it, right? You would have to split this into, some of you would split this into 3 and add the 3 areas, right? Some of you would take the whole rectangle, like the big rectangle, and subtract this little piece that isn't part of it. So you get creative. I'm missing something here, am I? This here is 5, this chunk here. That little piece there is 5. So I want to stop though. Does that make sense that it's perimeter times height that would give you the surface area of the walls? Would that make sense to you? If I added all the distance around this room and then just multiply it by the height, you're effectively finding the surface area of the walls in one step. Well, you got to find the perimeter and then times height, right? So the surface area in this case would be, I'm going to go 15 plus 30 plus, this is another 15 here, right, coming back, plus 18 plus, what's this chunk here? 7 and 8 is 18 is 25, so this is technically 5, not drawn to scale, right? But I go 15, 18, this is 5 here as well, plus the 5 going across, plus the 5 coming down, plus the 7, and that's your perimeter times the height of the walls. I know some of you are sitting there, it's like, I know a quicker way, Mr. Dirksen, figured it out already. It's okay. I'm just showing you Maybe perhaps it takes you a few seconds longer to do it this way, but it is there, okay? So I just go around, I find the whole perimeter, and then so that's surface area. Let's figure this out. It's this is 60 right here. This is 15. This and this is 25. Right, this and this. So I've got 85, 90, 100. And let's just assume it's all in feet, right? So 100 feet times the height of this, which is also in feet, and that'd be 1,000 square feet. Or to paint the walls here. So when it's like a shape like this, you probably should be using this formula right there. Okay. Another thing that I notice is when it's coats, number of coats, a lot of you wait until the end. So you either do it when you figure out how many cans or how much money, and then you go, oh, times 3, right, at the very end, and that's actually not accurate. If you do that, you have a lot, you're going to buy a lot of extra product, right? Because when you coat the room once, there's always a little bit left maybe in that one can, so you can use that to start your second coat, right? So you want to always take your square footage and multiply it by 2, by 3, by 4, by however many coats. You want to do it right away. And then you go ahead and find cans, find cost, and so forth, okay? Will you remember that? Don't wait till the end, right? The coats need to, not times number of coats perhaps, right? That's very important to remember, okay? So this is just an aside. The quiz will actually have a shape like that, so I thought I'd give you a heads up on that because I don't think I mentioned it before. Mr. Dixon, does this work for a regular rectangular room as well? Yes, it works as well, but it's only the walls, okay? It will not include the ceiling or the floor, so you need to make sure you understand that. Okay, now let's go to 31. So that's the fish tank question. I did post the answer key, but maybe the answer key didn't do it for you. I kind of jump around a little bit. Okay, so you've been hired to build this aquarium. By the way, how many of you tried it or actually did it? Show of hands. Like how many tried it and actually got all the way to the end? Don't be shy. Raise your hand. Yeah, good for you guys. I told you if you want to do well, it's not going to be easy, right? It's not going to be easy. So let's go through it. We're supposed to, right? There's the cover, the glass enclosure, and the base. Okay, so 3 things that we need to consider for our cost. You must have, so I'm going to grab my highlighter here. This is what you must have. By the way, sometimes we make you choose how many fish you would like in the tank. So you would have to decide. I want 5 of these, 3 of these, so you decide. It's a bit of a nightmare to mark, but the volume of each requirement for each type of fish are provided below. So that much cubic feet of water for small, medium, large. So I'm going to skip that for now. There are different glass thicknesses based on the volume of the aquarium. So here we have that, and notice that there is the highlight here is to know that your cost is going to come from this chart. So A, determine the minimum volume of water required to get this tank to have the fish in an appropriate volume of water. So I'm going to do that here, guys. Way up here. I know I need 2 large, so 2 large fish. And how much do each large fish require? How much water? 1.5 cubic foot, right? 1.5 cubic foot. So that obviously would be 3 cubic feet for the large fish. I have 3 medium. So I'm going to go a little faster because technically I expected you to at least have tried it, right? So 3 cubic feet. And you have 4 small. They each need half, right? Half a cubic foot. So 4 times half is 2. So if you add this up, the minimum requirement is 8 cubic feet of water that you need for the fish to have enough water, okay? Minimum. Obviously, the bigger, if you have ever had fish, bigger is better, right? So we got A taken care of. That was easy. Given the aquarium, if the aquarium has a base that is 4 feet by 2 feet and a height of 2 feet, calculate the real volume of water in the tank. That's where you probably got thrown off, right? I guess the base of the aquarium, okay. Because I'm thinking you might confuse this base, right? But it's saying the base of the aquarium is 4, so I'm going to label that right here. 4 feet by 2 feet, and it's 2 feet high, right? So I put the measurements right there. Calculate the real volume of water in the tank. I think I can do that here, right? B is right there. The real volume would be 4 times 2 times 2, right? So that's 4 times 4, that's 16 cubic feet. 16 cubic feet. Got it. Boom. I'm done with B. C, draw a 3D sketch of the glass with the dimensions clearly marked. Calculate the cost of the glass enclosure, including taxes. So that's what I'm going to start, most likely going onto my piece of loose leaf here. So let me just move everything up here. So I'm switching now. The 3D enclosure, guys, as long as it looks okay, you do your best, right? So I'm going to draw it like that. Right, and this is 2 feet, 2 feet. Sorry, you can't see that, can you? 2 feet, and this is 4 feet. And I'm going to have some water in there. Don't need that, but that's about it. But now we're going to calculate the cost. Before you do that, what do you need to do before you even go for the cost? It's just like paint. Glass is something, it's almost like cardboard. It's almost like the thin outside layer. So this is square footage we're talking about. I hope you understand that. So I'm going to figure out the surface area of this enclosure. What do I need to make note of? The top is open, right? There's no glass at the top, okay? So I'm just going to go length times width plus 2 times length times height plus 2 times width times height. You don't need to do that on a test. You can just jump right in. So that's 4 times 2 plus 2 times 4 times 2 plus 2 times 2 times 2. Almost like Pizza Hotline. 8. Come on, that was funny. 4 and 4 is 16. 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. Right? So we've got 16 and 16, that's 32. 32 square feet of glass that I need. Okay. Now we need to figure out cost. And you're thinking, wait a minute, Mr. Dixon always tells me I need to figure out how many cans, boxes, whatnot do I need. What do we assume the glass comes in? What units do they come in? Can I buy them? Square feet, right? So in this case, am I already rounded to the nearest square foot? It's not 31.9, it's 32. If it had been a decimal, you round it to the nearest square foot and you're good. So in this case, it's as easy as that, okay? So whole square foot. Check, right? The answer is already there. So cost. I'm going to take my 32 square feet and I'm going to multiply it by one of the three. Which one am I going to pick? And this is a little, it's maybe, and I get it. Okay, bank on this. You're probably there's a very high chance you will make a mistake at some point. Hopefully none, right? But you just want to be consistent throughout. So let's say you make a small mistake here. If you're consistent every step of the way from there on in, you're not going to lose a whole lot of marks. Okay, so just keep that in mind, because sometimes students freeze because they're like, I'm going to make a mistake, right? Perhaps, but just be good with your work, show every step, and I will fish for marks. Okay, it's a fishing expedition. So I'm going to base my answer on this. This is the actual volume of the tank, right? The 16 cubic feet. So technically it's greater than 8. So I need to go with thick glass, because technically if the tank is this big, that's how much water you can fit in there. So you need to have it strong enough to hold the water. Got it? So I'm going to go with 502. 502. And if I talk too much, just bring your plugs next time. Okay. There you go. 32 times 5.02. 160.64. Did it say after tax? Including taxes, yeah. So I'm going to go 160.64 first. So that's my subtotal. How do I do taxes? I go times 1.12 because it's just a lot faster. Anything you ever see in the store and you wonder how much is it with tax, take your cell phone times 1.12 and then you know what it is, right? There. So we got that figured out. I think we're good. Check. Okay. Cost of tank, the 3D diagram, full marks there. D. Let me just fold this so you can. You're with me, right? I'm not making you fall asleep. I'm not that teacher, hopefully, as you're fighting to stay awake. Anyways, the aquarium is sitting on the base made of plywood. Has the same length and width as the aquarium, and it has a height of 3 feet. Using a scale diagram, show how you would cut the wood for your base using a 4x8 sheet of wood. Okay, let me stop there. You may never have dealt with wood, but any store you go to, when you buy a sheet of wood, it's always 4x8. Always 4x8. You go to the store, you go see those big sheets, 4x8, 4 feet by 8 feet. That's why it's not random, it's going to be like that, 4x8. Okay, let's get that out of the way. And so we know that one sheet costs this much. Oh, wait, I'm skipping here. First, let's do the diagram. Diagram first. So I chose this. This is my go-to. 1 centimeter is 1 foot. Okay. And let's just make the base real quick here. Real quick. So this is the base of the aquarium. I know this is 4x2. How high is this? It's a little higher than the tank, right? I'm at 3 feet there. And why am I doing this? Because I want the front and the back. So I should make it 3D if I can, right? Front and back will look like this. 4x3, right? So 4x3 this way. I need 2 of those. So 4x3. Mr. Dirksen, this is not drawn to scale, I know. But I want this first. And then I go sides. This side here is 3x2. So it's 3x2. I need 2 of those. And then the top. Did you put a bottom to it? Would you? State your assumption. Sometimes it will save you. But this is the top for me. I will just go 4x2 4 by 2. This is just the top. Okay. Top. Sorry, I should have put it there. Times 1. I need one of those. So now I'm going to draw my scale diagram. I'm going to grab a ruler and I'm going to go 4. I want to try to fit in 2 sheets. So I have 1 to 8. So I can have 4 and another one here. So this might, that's why I'm going to split it. Okay. And then I'm going to go 8 centimeters, and same thing on the other side. And you're like, how come you know it's two sheets? Because my answer key tells me so. But if you didn't know, you would just do one, try to fit pieces in, and if you need another sheet, you just add it right next to it. Okay? And watch what I'm going to do to make things easier for me. I'm going to mark. I'm going to say this is 1, 2, 3. Oh, it's a little bit bigger, right? Oh, whatever. We're just going to ignore that. I'm not going to be too picky if it's off by a little bit. Trust me. You're in good hands. Okay? As long as it's somewhat 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are my markings, right? So I'm going to start with the top here. A 4 by 3 piece fits in, like this is 1, 2, 3 going down. So that's one piece right there. And I'm just going to go another 3, 1, 2, 3. It's right about there. So this is front, back. Okay. And then you have your 2 by 3 here. So I'm going to go on my second sheet, 1, 2, 3. That's a 2 by 3, and that's another 2 by 3. So this is side, side. And then the top, I will just fit in here, which is a 4 by 2. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4 by 2. So this is my top. Is there a lot of waste? You bet. But it doesn't matter how you do it. You'd have to buy 2 sheets anyways. Okay. So that's good enough for me. How likely is this to show up? Not very likely. Not on a test. Maybe an AC down the road or something like that. That's why I kind of just jumped through it. But you need to know, the province wants you to know how to do scale diagrams. Okay. D. No, I just did D, right? This is D. And now we're going to have E. This is back to normal here. Calculate the cost of wood for your design. A 4 by 8 sheet of wood costs $54.95 plus tax. So I'm going to go surface area needed. I need length times width plus 2 times length times height plus 2 times width times height, correct? I'm assuming there's no base here. It's just a top. So then it's going to be, and I'm going to use this to help me out. I'm going to go back up here and I will do the same thing. 4, 2, and 3, right? So this is going to help me with the dimensions. So 4 times 2 plus 2 times 4 times 3 plus 2 times 2 times 3. 4 times 3 is 12, times 2 is 24, 2 times 2 is 4, times 3 is 12. So this is 20 plus 24, 44 square feet. Required, right? That's how much wood is required in terms of square footage to get that. Do we already know we need 2 sheets? The diagram gave it away. Kind of gave it away, right? And so, but this is how you do it mathematically. Remember the brick question? How many bricks you need to make that little patio from the pond to the house? Remember that? Some of you are looking at me like, I don't know what you're talking about, Mr. Dixon. When we did this question, we figured out how many bricks would fit in there. And so same scenario here, guys. This is how much I need, right? Or this is how much I need for the whole thing. So I'm going to go that one sheet is 4 times 8, right? So the area of just one sheet is 4 times 8, which is 32 square feet. So when they give you the dimensions, you use it to figure out, well, that would be the equivalent of 32 square feet. So I need one sheet. One sheet would be 32 square feet. Therefore, how many sheets will I need to cover 44 square feet? You cross multiply and divide, and you guessed it, you are going to divide this, okay? So 44 divided by 32, 1.375. You're not going to buy that many. You're going to buy in unison. Everybody's going to say 2 sheets. Thank you. Okay, so cost is 2 times 54.95. Let's do that first. That's 109.90, and then we add taxes. That's 123.09. Okay, so that's the wood, the cost of wood, including taxes. F. Calculate the total cost of the design, including taxes, for the glass enclosure. So we're going to go glass, base, and cover. It basically gives it all away there. If you read it carefully, glass, base, cover. The glass is found in, so total. The glass, I'm just going to go get it. Sorry guys, I have to go get it. If I remember where I calculated it. How come I'm not seeing it? Can you tell me what the glass is, guys? What did I calculate? I know I calculated it, I'm just not seeing it. What is it? Okay, thank you. And the base, I just have it here. And the cover is given to me. That's 115. What's wrong with that, just doing the 115? It's just 115. Have taxes been added to 115? No. So you just have to make sure just the 115 will be multiplied by 1.12 as well, because this has taxes, has already taxes, no taxes yet, okay? So I'll go taxes, exclamation mark. 179.92 plus 123.09 plus, what's 115 times 1.12? 128.80. And that gives me 431.81. And it matches my key. I'm so happy when that happens. I raced through it, I know, but you technically should have read it, should have attempted it, and right now it should have just been like, oh, I forgot the 1.12 for the 115. Oh, okay, right? That's what it should have been like right now. So keep that in mind, okay? What was the other one you wanted me to do, Lorraine? D? We're doing okay time-wise, so I think I will. And you know what? I will say this. Your work was fairly easy to mark um, because you showed your steps. You showed your thinking. So I was like, oh, you just did minus instead of plus or plus instead of minus. So those that I can handle. Just make sure you you show your work as you have been doing. So okay. So the Smiths have been asked to construct a semicircular driveway. It's not trying to scale. Okay, got it. This is all the information you need. A hole must be dug to accommodate the depth of gravel and concrete. Okay. The driveway must be 10 feet wide. The driveway must be 10 feet wide. So where is that going to go in our diagram? This is the semicircular driveway, just the gray part. The 10 feet are going to go right there. The width of this driveway all along has to be 10 feet. I think that is there. The layer of gravel must be 7 inches thick. That's also important to me. And that is a depth to it. Layer of gravel, like the layer of topsoil. I don't know if you remember that. So we're going to go over here and say that this is 7 inches. Quite often we guide you through it. We set you up, and then you need to take it from there, okay? The layer of concrete must be 4 inches thick. So concrete is 4 inches thick. 7 and 4, what would that be in total? 11 inches. You know how you turn something from inches to feet just like that? Just write it over 12. It's 11 inches, all right, but you could say 7 over 12 feet or 4 over 12 feet. It solves the problem just like that. Just write it over 12. You're basically converting, but you don't want decimals, right? So you just leave it like that. Does that make sense? On a Friday morning, it makes sense? All right. Almost 1 inch, not quite. So the concrete, we got that. I got that. Excavation costs $5 per cubic yard. Important. Gravel. I'm going to use a different highlighter for that one. Gravel, 18. Right? Concrete. Now you know why you have many highlighters, right? Concrete costs $170 per cubic yard. All materials and labor. Watch this. All materials and labor for excavation must be purchased in whole units. Only GST is for excavation. That's important to note because excavation is a service, right? They just come and they dig it out. You don't really get anything other than the service, okay? While both PST and GSTs charge on the gravel and concrete. So materials, 12%, right? Excavation, 5%. And I'm just going to highlight the excavation because that is kind of different from the rest, okay? Fill all the blanks provided above. Width, interior radius, depth of gravel, blah, blah, blah. We've been doing it as I've been going through it. So let's do a little bit of thinking here. If this is 60, guys, follow me. If this is 60, then the radius of from center to the outside is 30. Yeah. And why does it say, I guess, what's the radius from here to here? It's on a different highlighter, guys. My fourth. This. That's that. What is it? 20? So I went, if this is 30, right? Follow me, guys. If this is 30 and you take away 10, you're left with 20. Got it? So this looks like it's a diameter, but there's R, right? It's supposed to tell you what this is. And why do you suppose that's going to be important? big circle minus small. Yeah, that's where it's going to go. Okay. Or big cylinder minus small cylinder, right? That's where we're going. You should be like, yeah, I remember doing that. And I think that's what they're setting up here. I hope you scan and you see that, okay? Read carefully, right? I think we did that, so I think we're good. We filled in all the blanks. Let's go. Calculate the total cost to construct a semicircular driveway, including taxes. So this dives right in, actually. So let me get my piece of loose leaf. You know what? I'm gonna take. I need my voice to relax a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna tackle excavation. So there are a couple of things you need to watch out for. So let's. I'm gonna go like a side. I'm gonna try to give it a 3D component to it. Who needs Tinkercad? There you go. So there's a bit of a. Somebody ate that donut. Somebody ate half of it already, right? So keep that in mind. Can you wrap your head around if I, for a bit, just treat it as 2 cylinders and then deal with the half later? That I just half it later on? Are you okay with that? Let's pretend the donut was there at the beginning. Nobody ate it yet, right? Who ate the donut? Okay. So I'm gonna go, because it's excavation, right? It's volume. I hope you understand that, right? Everything is volume here because everything has a depth to it. We're not painting, we're not covering, we're not putting fabric on. It's volume, okay? So I'm going to go volume. This might be different than my key, by the way. If you looked at my key, it's probably going to be different. Volume, so sorry, total volume is volume of large cylinder minus volume of small cylinder. Got it. So I'm just going to quickly say that lowercase r is 20 feet and capital R is 30 feet. Okay. So I'm going to go total volume is, oh, this is where I'm going to do the half. Sorry. I just wanted you to buy into it first. And I'm going to go, hey, square brackets. And in front of it, I'm going to go 1/2. Right? So once I deal with the cylinders, then I'm going to say, well, actually, I only have half right in front of it, right? You could do it later. You can do it right away. But I'm just going to go 1/2, square bracket the whole thing, and then it's pi, sorry, what is it again? Cylinder pi r squared h, right? Pi r squared, so r squared. And what's the height of this thing? What's the height of this? It's 11 over 12 feet, right? You're with me? 11 over 12 feet. 11 inches, but that's divided by 12, and then it's in feet, right? I want everything in feet for now. So I'm going to go 11 over 12 is the height of that cylinder. Minus pi r squared times the height, which is the same as before. Square bracket. Round brackets, square brackets, they're really the same, right? They're just to kind of chunk it all up, okay? So here we go. I'm going to go half again. Let's figure out what the inside is. Pi times 30 squared. Watch this, what I'm going to do. Times 11. I'm going to hit enter there. Divided by 12. And so that's 2591.81 ... minus. I think I can just copy. Watch, I'm just going to go copy this expression here and just change the 30 to a 20, hit enter, divide that by 12, that's 1151.917 dot dot dot, square bracket that, and now it's just copy paste, right? Boom, minus the other one. Don't forget about the half outside, okay? Sorry, I'm gonna move the camera down a bit so you can see. And then I'm gonna go times 0.5 or divided by 2, whatever floats your boat, right? And then it's 719.94 something something, and I'm in cubic feet. I'm in cubic feet. What is excavation charged in? Like, by what do they charge us in? Cubic yards? Read it. Go look at that, right? Like, I don't want you to miss that, right? Cubic yards. Okay, no problem. Mr. Dirksen taught me how to do that. I told you to do this, put this one on your study sheet. And I told you that 1 cubic yard has how many cubic feet? 27. Yeah, 3 to the power of 3, which is 27. So I'm just going to take that answer and just divide it by 27. So that's 26.6 something. 26.66 cubic yards. No problem. Is the company going to charge me 0.66 something of a yard? Can I buy 0.6 of a yard? So how many yards am I going to have to pay for? 27, that's right. Sorry, cubic yards. Required, okay? You're going to have to pay for that many. So this is one of those where you don't need to find cans or anything. You just round it, and then you're good to go, okay? So now I'm going to find the cost. So cost is 27 cubic yards times, I'm just going to peek here, up here, it's $5, right? $5. And so 27 times 5 is 135 bucks. Oh, should I do taxes right away? I think I will. Times 1 point what? 0.5, right? 1.05. 141.75. And I don't know. I think I'm going to understand that this is the number that I really want towards the end. Okay, I got excavation done. I on a test would have said, A, find excavation cost. B, find, like I'm going to do that for you, okay? And then the next thing would be gravel or concrete. It's up to you. I'm going to go gravel. We've got time. So look at the gravel. Gravel is $18 per cubic yard. Okay. So here's where you need to be careful. What's the volume here? I'm going to do the same thing as before. Pi r squared. And what's the height of the gravel? I'm going to make a little note here. Look at your fill-in. What is it? 7 inches. So it would be 7 inches, which is 7/12 feet. Okay, that's the height of the gravel. So I'm going to go 7/12, not 11/12, right? Minus pi r squared, the small r, and it's still 7/12. And I think now I'm going to go a little bit faster. I'm just gonna type stuff in, okay? And I think this is where your calculator, I'm gonna go way up, and I'm gonna take the 30 squared, that one, copy it, but I'm gonna just turn that into a 7 and divide it by 12. That's 1649.33 something, minus, I'm gonna go way up and copy the 20, this one, and you might disagree with me there, but that's 733.038 ... I'm gonna, sorry, what happened? Oh yeah, here. This minus that, so that's 916.29 something. So I'm gonna times it by 0.5. That's 458.148 something cubic feet. I know you can't see that. I'm gonna move that. And I'm gonna split that. No, I already did. I'm just gonna divide that by cubic feet, 1 cubic yard. I allow you to just divide it by 27 cubic feet, and then that's fine. What did I do now? I double divide it. 16.96 something cubic yards. I need about 17 cubic yards. So cost will be 17 times, what is it for gravel? 18. And I'm going to go ahead and go times 1.12 right away. And this is 342.72. And then last but not least is the concrete. I don't think I'm going to fit that in here. So I'm going to go total volume there. Pi r squared. And this is going to be 4 inches. 4 inches. 4 over 12 feet is the depth of that. That's 1/3, right? I think it's faster for me to actually just type it in. So this is 942.47 minus 418.879. So I'm going to subtract them, divide it in half. So that's 261.79 cubic feet. And that's approximately, if you divide that by 27, that's 9.69 something cubic yards. I need approximately 10 cubic yards. So the cost is going to be 10 times 170. It's 170 bucks times 1.12. Phew. But I'm not done yet, am I? Grand total is now adding up those three values. And I'm not gonna, yeah, I think I can finish C as well. I'm just going to do the grand total here, guys. Grand total. I'm going to go 141.75 plus 342.72 plus 1,904. And then I'm just going to circle that whole thing. Again, you should be able to do, like if you ever want to do a reno in your home, right? You got to dig out, you got to buy soil, you got to buy gravel, right? This is technically like I've done this kind of stuff when I did my patio, right? So, I mean, I probably didn't do half a donut with a circle, right? But it was just a circular one, but still, the idea remains the same. My key is probably different, but it still should add up to the same. Oh yeah, it did. That's always a good sign when those match, right? Was this a lot or what? Too much to handle? I don't think it's too much to handle. It's just you've got to persevere, right? You got to persevere, walk this through, get it to the finish line. Okay? My goodness, I have to do C yet. You want me to do C, or you're good to go? What's that? You're good? But maybe somebody else wants me to do C. Let me see. Cedar wood chip flowers, blah, blah, blah. The garden must be covered with cedar wood chips. That costs $7.49 per bag. Every bag is 12 square feet. Excavation is not required. Just look at my key for that one. So then there's the hot tub question. That one I wouldn't mind us doing, the hot tub, because that's the kind of stuff. So let's look at the back here. Determine the volume of water necessary to fill a hot tub to 0.5 feet from the top. So let's go to the back here. Yeah, page 33. Let's do that one. Volume is not that bad, right? Like, so we have the total height here. So how would you do this if you had to? So the idea is that there's this ring here, but the center here is full of water all the way up to 0.5 from the top. So I'm just going to do this. I know that the radius, I'm going to call this capital R, is 3.5 feet. Then I'm going to focus on the lowercase r here. This is where I want you to think. What is lowercase r? Yeah, but how would you find it? 7, right? Minus, this is 1.5, and this is 1.5, right? Right, so 7 minus 3, right? So this radius here is 7 minus 3 divided by 2, which is 2 feet, right? 2 feet. So lowercase r is 2 feet. So you kind of have to just scan the picture and see what you need to do to get that. So do you see that there's a small cylinder here, right? There's a small cylinder and a big cylinder out here, right? So I'm just going to add this. I'm going to add this part. And I'm going to add the small one here. Right, so that's my small and my large. volume there. Volume, you don't have to worry about a face not being included or whatever, so you should be fine there. I think I will also, this is on the key as well, right? Or is this something I added later? Lighting D, which is top and bottom. I did it in a weird way, so let's do it a different way here. So total volume is volume of large cylinder plus volume of small cylinder. Okay, there are a number of ways of doing this, but I'm going to go pi r squared times what's the height of the big one. Ah, somebody already did the math there. Yeah, it's 2 because it's 4.5 all the way to the top. Take away this 2 from the 4.5 and take away the 0.5. This is also 2 feet. Right? So it's 2 plus pi radius squared, the small radius, times the height of that one is also 2. And then it's just computing time, which should be just fine. Don't forget to square. A bunch of you forgot to square. No, not that. Hold on. Pi times 25.13. Adding, right? Not subtracting. 102. This is not good. I'm getting a different answer than on my key. Did anybody find a mistake on my key? Because maybe I do it on purpose to check if you're doing your homework. So based on my calculations is that. It says 128.81 on my key. But I believe we're okay here. Because this is 7 minus 3 is 4 divided by 2 is 2. So that would be this cylinder. And I used 3.5 and I used the height of 2 because I cannot include this little bit. So that's probably the mistake I made. I probably did not account for this the little top being like there being no water, the 0.5. So I'm going to go with this. Okay, so for test review, I will say this, go back and do questions that you haven't done that are blank, right, in your booklets. I posted the answer key to pretty much all of them. So let's say there's something I didn't assign, go back and do that. There's the one with the lunchbox and all those different types of questions. And then this quiz is going to be in addition if you'd like, and I'll post the answer key to this quiz as well. And that's going to be it, right? Thank you guys.